Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first edition of Lockdown Lions, the wonderful new Coburg podcast and video interview show that we are doing while this COVID-19 crisis is leaving us a little bit away from each other. So, my name is Alex Morella. I'll be hosting this wonderful edition of Lockdown Lions. And with me to talk all things Coburg today, we've got the General Manager of the Coburg Football Club, Sebastian Spaniolo.
G'day, Alex, and thank you for being able to help me with this. And we hope that our Coburg Lions members and supporters enjoy the podcast Lockdown Lions. It's the official podcast for the coronavirus challenge that we're all going through.
Absolutely. There's obviously still plenty to talk about, even with lockdown at the moment. There's always things going on both at the club and around everyone. First and foremost, let's just keep it with you, Seb. How's things been? How have you been coping with everything?
Yeah, going well as can be expected, I guess. And who would have thought we'd be dealing with this sort of challenge that we've all got on our hands at the moment? But it's interesting times working from home and two little kids that have homeschooling, etc. So I now have a greater appreciation for teachers and what they go through. But it's like I said, as well as could be expected, I guess. And how about yourself, mate? How are you getting through?
Yeah, doing okay at the moment. It's obviously been a bit of a challenge with everything that's gone on for me in terms of work and situations and everything like that as well. But working through it, which is really good. And I've had a few people who have been really supportive, and that's all you can really be at this point, is just support and positive. And I've been really thankful to those who have helped me, and it's been good. I have enjoyed my time at home, I've got to say. Which has been nice. So, just trying to work through it all at the moment, and fingers crossed the other side isn't too far away. Let's move on to a little bit of Coburg chat just to start. The other query, of course, is where are you, Seb? Because, of course, there have been renovations happening in 2020 this year. That was already planned as of, late last year. So where's the setup at the moment for the Coburg Football Club? Have we got an office at the moment, or have we got a home base?
Yeah, so in February, just before COVID-19 hit us all pretty hard, we actually did vacate the football club administration areas and moved next door to the Coburg Bowls Club. So currently operating out of there. I come into the club 2 or 3 times a week just to continue to send out people's orders that we're getting online. Our loyal members are still buying their beanies and scarves, which is absolutely fantastic. So just coming into the club and making sure that everyone's getting what they've purchased, as well as just maintaining some administration requirements at the moment, which, we've got meetings with the AFL every so often and with the other standalone and VFL clubs. So that's us. We moved from the footy club here to the Bowls Club. We moved not only our admin, but our football department as well. So when we do get back up and running and training, we will be based out of here. So little change rooms have been set up, and a medical room has been set up, and just got the real basic requirements really, just to be able to get through this period and until we can move back next door to a fantastic and renovated football club.
That's great to hear, and I'm sure hopefully throughout the year we'll see more of what's been going on there. One of the big projects I know that has been going on there that we have been really excited about was the We Are Coburg project that I'm sure you can give us a bit more about in a sec, but was something that we were looking at from when I was back at the club at the end of last season to the start of this season. Do you want to give everyone an update on what was a really exciting program, I guess, that we were ready to launch at the season launch?
Yeah, so between November and March, our media team, led by Kelly Masters, our media manager, we started a We Are Coburg project. And as people would know, We Are Coburg is our hashtag. It's also some words in our song. And we wanted to bring to life a project that encapsulated our club and what we're about. So we called in some club legends and players and staff from the past to come back and share their story on how they first got connected to the Coburg Football Club and how they are still connected. And it just brings to life the true stories and tradition and history of our football club. So we're extremely disappointed that the season launch had to be cancelled, because for those that had already purchased a ticket or were thinking about coming along, they would have seen, they would have been the first people to see the actual the video that we've put together. So yeah, the great news and exciting news for our members and our players is that they'll get an exclusive look at that over the next week, and then we'll make it public to everyone after that via our social media channels. So something definitely for our members to look out for. It is a fantastic project that we worked on. We had a day at the football club at a training session where we invited all of our members to come along to, and to have a member that's 4 years old and a member that's 101 years old. It was fantastic to just get as many people together as possible and really show the community a true football club. Yeah, very exciting to be part of and to work on, and we can't wait to show it to our members.
Terrific. And one other final thing that has been in the news, obviously, recently, you've had to release a statement of it as of, I think, yesterday or the day before, the 2020 season. How's everything going? It's obviously it's a challenging time with everything happening. What can you shed for us?
Yeah, we to be honest, and I know people are going to be sick of hearing it, that there is no update, but to be completely honest, until the AFL know what they're doing, when they're starting, and how their season is going to look from everything that's being bandied around, like the hub model and all of that, it's really too early for the VFL to then have any real firm idea on what's happening with our competition as well. But the fantastic news and really encouraging news is how often we are in conversation with the AFL. So every week I'm on one of these meetings, on a Zoom meeting with the AFL and the other VFL clubs, and we're just looking at ways that a season can get up and running, and finding out which teams are likely to be involved in it, and how long the season will be, and what grounds we're going to have available into October if we need to play that late. So that's what the encouraging part is, that not all is not lost. We haven't given up hope of having a season or anything like that. We're very positive that if we can tick some boxes, we can get the team out on the park. But before we even get to that, the government sort of rules and regulations around social distancing need to ease before we can even worry about playing. So we've always said from day one that health and safety of our players and staff is paramount, and we've been just waiting for now the government to relax those measures, which will allow us to play footy, and we can then start planning from there. So it's encouraging, but unfortunately I don't have anything for the podcast listeners today, anything firm, but we doing everything we can to get out on the park.
No, absolutely. And just finally, before we introduce our special guest for today, it's very important to thank the major sponsor of Coburg, who have been so supportive at this time and who have obviously got a lot going on at the moment, but who have been a fantastic supporter of Coburg over the last few months and years.
Yeah, absolutely. So today's Lockdown Lions podcast is brought to you by our major sponsor, Ryman Healthcare, with a new village and retirement and care facility soon to open in Aberfeldy, and with their ongoing planning for the site in Coburg. They are an outstanding leader in retirement living and healthcare in Australia. For more information about Ryman Healthcare and their villages, please give them a call on 1800 288 299 and have a chat with them. Let them know that you got their details from the Coburg Football Club, and they'll look after you. So we can't thank Ryman Healthcare, our major sponsor, enough for their support through these times. And we've got many other partners as well that through this series of the Lockdown Lions, we'll make sure that we give as much exposure to our partners, because you're right, Alex, without fantastic support from corporate partners like Ryman Healthcare, it makes running a football club a little bit harder.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's time for us to invite our special guest to talk about everything that we've all been doing in lockdown, what we can do. Perhaps we can, go and buy a house. Who knows? Let's invite our very special guest in. We'd like to welcome to the conversation Jesse Corigliano. So welcome to the conversation, Riga. Thanks for joining us in lockdown.
G'day, guys. Thank you very much for having me. Sorry in advance if I'm a little bit noisy. I'm in my car at the moment recording this, and it's raining. So if you can hear raindrops on my car roof, then that's the noise.
Oh, you're
Yes, it is.
sounding all right at the moment, mate. But fingers crossed you're still in the car at the end and no one's taking it from you. So as long as you're still with us, that should be good, mate. How have you been, mate? What's been happening? It's obviously been a few months or a few weeks in ISO now, and you've had a bit of news in that time as well.
Yeah, I've been good. Obviously missing sport, missing footy, and the basketball as well. I'm missing that. But other than that, life's in terms of work, I'm fortunate enough that that's pretty much the same for me. So still working full time. And yeah, as you kind of touched on, Sid and I, Sid, my girlfriend, we bought a house last week, which is very exciting. So there's still a while till settlement all happens. But yeah, so there's a bit been going on in my life, despite the whole coronavirus lockdown, which is kind of good, keeping me busy, keeping my mind off the fact that we're not playing sport.
Fantastic, Rigger. Thanks for joining us today. And Vice-Captain in 2020, sole Vice-Captain. And hopefully, like I said, we're hoping to get out on the park. But yeah, is it your third year in a row in the leadership group?
Yes, I think third year in the leadership group, second year. So last year I was obviously Vice-Captain with Bunks, and this year sole Vice-Captain, which is very exciting and something I'm pretty proud of.
And longest longest lasting player on our list at the moment. So 2015, you joined the club.
Yep. I remember that vividly. I remember, actually, I think Alex was the one who gave me the contract. I think I was the last person signed on the list. So just scraped through under Germo, and yeah, 6 years later, here we are.
Speaking about Germo, is there anything you want to elaborate there? And obviously, Germo, a much loved character around our football club still, and someone that loves our football club and always will as well. Was it? I don't know if it was your senior debut, but it was early in your senior career anyway, coming off a development league B&F at the club. And is there anything you want to share with the listeners about a pre-game spray, which you can't really fathom how a player could get a pre-game spray? What did you done wrong, or what had you done wrong to earn that?
I don't think I had done too much. I learned a heap off Germo in his time there, and certainly a big reason as to why I'm still at Coburg and still playing footy today. But I can vividly remember the spray you're talking about. I think we were playing, it might have been Werribee, and I think I was playing on Jed Anderson that week, who now plays for North Melbourne. And he had played a really good game the last time we played them, and so Germo was showing footage of Jed Anderson playing really well, and it'd been announced to everyone that I was playing on him that week, and he kind of, I won't tell exactly what he said, but he kind of said, Jesse, if you don't do this, this, and this, I'm going to get you in a half time, and it's not going to be pretty. So that was before the game. So that filled me with a heap of encouragement and enthusiasm going into the game, knowing that if I didn't do my job, it wasn't going to be good. But thankfully, I think I played okay. So
That's what I was going to ask. Did you carry out the job and save yourself from a halftime spray?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't get a halftime spray, so I'll take that as a yes.
There you go. You do go down in history, I believe, and I could be wrong here, but once again against Werribee, you were the first player to kick in from an 18-metre goal square. So that claim to fame that you'll be able to tell the grandkids about in the future.
Yeah, I'll be able to show them I think there's a meme that's been floating around Facebook for a while. I've seen that a few times. The mates have given me a bit of a hard time about that one, but that was a strange experience in itself, but something I won't forget, that's for sure.
That's right. A bit of extra space anyway. They couldn't really get to you. We did watch, Alex and I were obviously watching the game, and the amount of space you were able to find to kick to yourself, carry and get another stat, well done, mate. Very smart.
It was like an airplane runway, that square.
That's right. We did actually, Alex and I, we canvassed our club members for some questions to ask you today. And here are some questions that have come from our members. The first one is from Ethan, who has asked about travel plans. And he actually, I'm not too sure where this has come from, but he asked if you've ever gone to the country Malaysia and if you're going to be allowed to go back to Malaysia in the future.
I have been to Malaysia. I think I went, what year was that? Probably year 9 at school.
I think it was 2010 actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first year in Melbourne. We just moved from Cairns. My family and I had just started school at Strathmore, and a teammate of mine, Ethan, well, a teammate now of mine, Ethan, we went with his family. We've known each other for a long time. Over to Malaysia, and we were 14, 15, and let's just say there was a little bit of mischief. We got up to a bit of mischief in the resort in Malaysia, and as we were leaving, the kind of the people at the lobby kind of gave us a sheet to take with us home, and we opened it on the taxi to the airport, and it said, "You guys are banned from all Golden Sands resorts in the future, so you can never come back." So it's not just Malaysia; it's any other Golden Sands resorts around Asia. So haven't been back and probably won't be allowed back. I think our last name's on their system or something like that. So.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we probably won't get into it too much. We might get a court case on our hands here, but the Golden Sands holiday group, it's she doesn't speak for the Coburg Football Club, and we'll still take you as a loyal sponsor of the club. Was there from Lucas? You've been at the club for many years. Was there ever a time early on in your career at Coburg when you're playing development league, maybe that you thought of giving up to go to local footy, and what made you stay at it?
Yeah, good question. I think it's just personally, I just always, whether that was development footy, I always just wanted to play at the highest level I could. So I never really, there was always that pull from local footy, like all your mates are playing there. And it's a bit hard playing development when you want to play senior footy. But I always just personally wanted to play at the highest level I could. So I wasn't going to stop until I thought that's as high as I was going to go. So I didn't really ever think of pulling the pin. But yeah, and just the people around the club at the time. I remember, my first couple of years, it was guys like Nick Carnell, everyone knows, Venditti, Danny Unan, who's now at Essendon, guys like that, kind of aspired to be like them at the footy club. And so no, I never really thought about leaving. I just wanted to play the best footy that I could.
And Lucas did ask another question. He said, why do you spend so much time arguing with strangers on Twitter about sport? Are you concerned that you're coming across as a massive sports nuffy?
I don't mind being considered a sports nuffy. I probably am a bit of a sports nuffy. So, if anyone does have me on Twitter, they're probably sick of me getting into arguments about. I think it's more NBA than the footy. Anyone who bags Russell Westbrook has a little bit of a hard time from me on Twitter because I'm a big Russell Westbrook fan.
Fantastic. And the last one, was again on the Twitter theme. A question came through from Jackson asking about the time that you spoke to Andrew Bogut via social media and what was discussed in that conversation. Obviously, two passionate people from European backgrounds. I'm sure that there would have been some logical thinking happening.
I think so. He posted a photo of something, he had a barbecue or something and was kind of taking the piss out of vegetarians or vegans or something like that. And my girlfriend Sid is vegetarian, so I didn't really like his post, so I kind of gave him a little bit of a hard time about that, and we went back and forth for a little bit, and then I asked him, how about we settle this over a game of one-on-one in basketball, and he never replied. So I guess that means he thinks I had him covered. So I'll take the win. I'll take the win there.
Absolutely no. So thanks for those questions from our members. That our members' questions are brought to you today by Piranha Snack Foods. So Piranha, long-term partner of our football club. We can't thank them enough. And while we're speaking about Piranha, Rigger, you and all your teammates would have received a bit of a hamper from Piranha recently, some snacks to get you through isolation. Did you receive yours, and how were they?
Sure did. They have been fantastic. Every time I'm a bit peckish at home, there's chips, popcorn. Sid's family, actually, we've given them a couple and they absolutely love them. So that's been great. And all the boys have found that very helpful. So thanks to Piranha.
Fantastic. Great sponsors of ours, Piranha, and Alex and the team there. They're based in Sydney, but they do some great work for us. And if you ever see their snacks in the health food aisles in Coles and Woolies and other stores, pick them up and give them a go. They're fantastic.
Barbecue chips, I highly recommend them.
There you go. Smokehouse barbecue, I think they're called.
Yep.
They're the best ones. Alex, you had some questions about TV?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess kind of in general for both of you. Obviously, with no Coburg training and things during the evening, we've got a bit more time on our hands. So we're going to say, Rigger, have you had much time to catch up, watch a lot of Netflix or any other kind of streaming services with not as much live sport on? I'm sure, knowing you've been watching The Last Dance potentially. Yeah,
you're spot on. I finished the 4th episode last night, I think. But I'm not normally a Netflix man, but I have watched a couple of shows. As you touched on, The Last Dance, I've very much enjoyed that. Spewing, it's only 2 episodes a week. I probably would watch a little bit more. And Ozark was the other one. I'm only on the first season, but have watched 6 or 7 episodes of that. And yeah, as I said, not really into TV shows, but I'm finding that one pretty good.
Yeah, it's there's been a lot of time on our hands, and I'm much the same. The Last Dance, takes me back. I was 13, 14 when the Bulls were doing their thing, and Michael Jordan was on everyone's basketball jersey as we were teenagers. And it's a great throwback to that time, and to hear, and see the behind the scenes footage. It's fantastic to just get that perspective. And he is the greatest. Michael Jordan, what can you say? Legend. Ozark, it's pretty good, Jesse. I've seen all of it. I've seen all three. It's a fantastic show. There are times in it that you just think this is absolutely crazy, but don't deal with Mexican cartels that often. So it's a great insight into that life. And also Tiger King. Did you watch Tiger King, Rigger?
I didn't watch it. Sid did. She absolutely loved it, but I haven't watched it. I've just seen a whole lot of on TikTok, people talking about it, and all over Facebook as well. So I feel I've missed out a bit, but yeah.
Give it a watch. It's one of those things that you can knock over a weekend if you've got the time. And again, it just takes you into the perspective of some shit crazy people over there in the States, to be honest. Alex, have you seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces. I've kind of, my girlfriend watched it all, and I was kind of coming in and out throughout all the episodes, kind of watching bits and pieces of it. So I've certainly seen how crazy it gets, and some of the wilder moments of it are ridiculous. So certainly when you kind of come in and see it, you can't take your eyes off it for a while.
Yeah. So how about we get into the next part, which is our Fast 5 questions brought to you by ComSelect Services today. Now, Rigger, we didn't prepare you for these, so you've got no idea what's coming. But basically, we've asked Sid, your partner. Firstly, Sid, how long have you been together?
3.5 years.
3.5 years, and recently purchased a property together, which is absolutely fantastic. And we've asked Sid we've asked her 5 questions. She's given her answers. We're going to ask you, and let's see if your answers align. So, first one we asked Sydney was Jesse's most annoying habit. What do you reckon she said that was?
I don't know. It could be arguing with people on Twitter or farting all the time.
Yeah, not any of those, but thanks for sharing those. But it's screaming out loud as you're playing Xbox.
Yeah, no, I should have got that one. That's very cool.
So there might be a bit of a theme here, Twitter rage and Xbox rage. You might just need to put everything away, Rigger, for a while.
Isolation's getting the best of me.
That's right. And now I mean, you bought a house together, so she knows what she's in for.
Yeah, she's in trouble now.
Your favourite movie, what do you reckon she said that was?
Step Brothers, surely.
Yeah, you got it. Great movie. Underrated movie. I heard number 2's coming out, but is it?
Really? I'll definitely tune in if it is.
Yeah, I've heard it is. We'll see. Number 3, your favourite food?
I'm not fussy at all, so there's a lot of things that I like. Japanese, like sushi, sashimi.
She has said Japanese is your favourite cuisine.
Yep, there you go.
There you go. Number 4, your go-to cheat day snack.
Macaroons, whatever they're called.
It's not those. It is ice blocks.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
She believes that you'll eat 10 ice blocks in an hour.
I don't know if that's cheat day though. I have them every day.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you on that. Actually, it's hydration, isn't it?
Yep, exactly.
Yep. And the last question: does she think that you're a good singer?
No, not at all.
I won't exactly say what she said to that one, but it did end in the word no. It was a couple of words before that. But no, thank you for participating in that. And thank you to Sydney for helping us out with those answers.
I'm tone deaf, I think, Seb. So.
Sorry?
I'm tone deaf, I think.
Yeah, there you go. Well, no singing from you. Our teammate, or your teammates and our players have been connecting on social media and putting up their secret hidden talent. And we saw actually JD, Justin Tennasante, do a bit of a singing number. What did you think of that one?
I couldn't tell at the start if he was going to do it as a joke or not, but he actually sounded really, really good in the shower. So I was surprised by that.
Alex, we may need to bring back Coburg Idol.
Oh, the voice from a few years ago, certainly, when it reappeared recently with Sturge's
Yeah.
efforts on that. I had to go back and watch that and forgot how much effort we put into Jesse Boyd's big number and a
Geordie
number of
Rogers.
people there.
Woody Rogers, yeah.
Yeah, Geordie Rogers. And on reflection, there were so many people in that made it fantastic with their efforts.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, and then just on that, Jesse, on a serious note, the connection in the group at the moment without training and playing together and being with each other 3 times a week like we normally would, how is it all going, and how are we still learning about each other, especially with some new players in the group? How do you think that's all going?
Yeah, it's been really good, and I think, at times like this, as you touched on, it's super, super important. Especially if we do go back this year, we kind of want to get back as we left, ready to go. So yeah, we've all together, the whole club, staff, players on a Facebook group have been. It's probably every day someone's posting something on that, whether it's a hidden talent, a trick shot, or just general information. Some of the nutrition information has been good, helping me cook in the kitchen. And yeah, then the players themselves, we've kind of, as the leaders, have kind of got a group of 6 or 7 people that we kind of touch base with every so often. So, yeah, we're just trying to stay positive, stay happy, trying to make each other laugh. And I think it's been really good. I've certainly enjoyed it, and I'm sure I can speak for a lot of the boys. Who, yeah, when we do go back, it'll just be like nothing has changed.
That's great to hear, Riga. You spoke about your Xbox and your passion for your video games. What's your go-to video game? Are you an NBA or a FIFA man?
Yeah, I love NBA 2K, and I've actually been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately, which normally I wouldn't, but the isolation part of it has got me playing that as well. So those two, definitely.
Very nice. And do you have, compared to everyone else at the club, do you feel you're one of the elite gamers? Have you found out if you were in fact better than all your teammates?
I'd like to think I played Call of Duty with Sammy the other day actually, and he's surprisingly okay. But I think I've got everyone at the club covered. That's for sure. Maybe not you, Alex. You strike me as a bit of a gamer.
Only in a couple of things. Maybe if you get me in FIFA and on a good day, my shooter skills are actually very bad for someone who everyone thinks would be an amazing gamer. I don't have the patience.
What about AFL Evolution 2, Rigo? You got that one yet?
Yeah, I have got that one. Coburg's in the game. Unfortunately, the players are randomly generated names, which is a bit disappointing. But I did get that. It doesn't really stack up to like NBA or any of the other games, but we're getting there, and it's certainly enjoyable.
Who wears number 2 in the game? What's his name?
I don't know if it's random between every person that downloads the game, but I can't remember his name on mine.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I think in the next few weeks, if we're still in ISO, I think me and a few of the guys, Dicko and that'll have to endeavour to make sure we make the real Coburg side for everyone to download, so it's a bit better for everyone. What would you? Obviously, there's been a bit of talk about the ratings in that game. Riga, what do you reckon you'd rate yourself in that game if we got a real version of you in there?
I don't know. Do you compare yourself to the AFL guys or VFL guys? Who's the highest rated player? What is he?
Oh, I think it's something like a 95. Something very high from memory, from what I heard.
I'd give myself an 80. I'd take an 80.
Fair enough. Very humble.
And someone like Marcus Lentini would be pushing 90, maybe 88, 89. Yeah, I think he'd be the highest rated player, I reckon, at Coburg.
Fair enough. Brilliant. Sorry, I'm just giving a quick read to my notes here. ISO hopefully coming to an end in a few weeks, Riga. What are some of the things you're looking forward to doing, obviously, besides going back to training and doing lots of intense strength and conditioning sessions? What else are you looking forward to once we kind of get back out of this situation?
Certainly going to see my mates, going around to my mates' places, playing, socializing, I guess. It's been pretty hard. Obviously, I think social media is good at a time like this. We're still talking to people, but it's not the same as speaking face to face, as we know. So things like just casually shooting the basketball with a few mates, going to the pub or something on the weekend, things like that I miss. It's been good to spend some extra time with my family, as we're pretty busy during the year when footy's on. So that's been nice, but I'm certainly missing a lot of my friends, both from footy and from school. And
from a work perspective, is there anything that you'd like to give a plug or a shout out to there? You want to promote your work?
So I'm a physio at home physiotherapy. So I drive around. I'm a mobile physio. So if anyone as you need some physio in this isolation. A lot of the clinics I think are closed at the moment, but we're still working. So if you need a helping hand, don't be afraid to give me a call.
There you go. Thanks, Rico. So yeah, we can't wait to have you, your teammates, and all of our staff and everyone back at the club and back out on the park doing what we love. Till then, stay connected with your teammates as you have been, and we've loved having you on the show as the first guest of Lockdown Lions for 2020. Thank you for your time, Rigo, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Riga.
So, Alex, we come to the end of our Lockdown Lions episode 1, and moving forward, we aim to do this weekly for our Lions members and supporters out there. It'll be uploaded to YouTube. Do you want to also run through the other ways that people can get the podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll also be able to access it via the same way you were able to access the Mitch and Murph podcast in 2019. So we're going to put it up through Spotify, through all the regular podcast channels. Hopefully we'll be able to find it through there. So look forward for that. If you do have any questions you want us to ask any guests, we'll post up about it on Facebook. So let us know. We're really happy to take any questions from members, supporters, about anything that's going on. If there's anything you want to know about Coburg at the moment, obviously with the redevelopment going on, with everything else that's been happening. I mean, there's a lot in the VFL we haven't even touched on in terms of the Northern Blues and everything that's going on with there. That's everything that's going on with the AFL clubs, what's happening. There's a lot happening, but obviously we don't have probably as many answers as everyone believes that every club's going to have in this situation, but there's obviously a lot going on. So if there's anything you want to know about Coburg, about the redevelopment, about anything else that's been happening, I guess really quick, do we have a timeline on the redevelopment at the moment, Seb, obviously?
Oh, look, the redevelopment at this stage doesn't look as though it's going to be affected by COVID-19, which is fantastic. So it's going according to plan, and we're looking at June 2021 as a time frame of when handover back to the footy club can occur. The builders have been appointed by council. They're in their site, sheds and offices have moved in. The fencing is now up, so the actual facility here at Piranha Park is closed to the public. No longer can people walk in and walk their dog or have a kick on the oval or anything like that. So it's starting to feel a lot more real now with the fencing that's gone up. Another bit of fantastic news actually is that the playing surface, the drainage has been done, or it's been redone by the Moreland City Council, and we can't thank them enough for the level of proactiveness or proactivity that they've shown here to do that while we can't train and play on the oval. So it's only going to help the football club and cricket club and every other club that comes and plays here, because the playing surface has probably copped an absolute belting over the last 10 to 15 years, and it's fantastic that work is being done to bring it up to a higher standard befitting of VFL footy. So a lot of action happening here, and you're right with what you said. For our members and supporters and everyone listening to the podcast, please stay engaged with our football club. Not only listen to it, but provide us with feedback, anything that you'd like to hear about, or any player that you'd like to hear from, or staff member for that matter as well. And our aim, Alex and I, is to bring that information that you guys are after. And we thank you for your loyalty and support through these times.
Fantastic. Well, that just about wraps it all up for today's episode. So thanks very much for joining me, Seb. It's been a pleasure to talk Lockdown Lions during these times, and we really hope we can keep bringing some positive news and energy to everyone around the Coburg Footy Club in the next few weeks.
100%. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Jesse Corigliano, for being a great guest, and go Lions.